In today's program, the Thai government now is urging the private sector to import vaccines on their own after the government's own plan resulted in less than 6% of the population being fully vaccinated, as daily cases hit yet another daily high. Speaking of efforts by the private sector, we've almost reached our target of 1 million baht raised for the I Am Strong fundraiser. The current totals are listed on the Go Get Funding page. Now, the Thaiger will close off the donations on Sunday night and do the big handover to Bangkok Community Help Foundation and 5 Star Marine in conjunction with One Phuket early next week. There's a link in the description. Thank you all to everyone who has donated at this stage. All right, on to the program. Officials have announced the identity of the Swiss national who was found dead at the bottom of a Phuket waterfall. The woman is 57-year-old Nicole Sauvain-Weiskopf, who entered Thailand last month under the Sandbox program. Nicole is the Assistant Protocol Chief of the Federal Assembly of Switzerland. Another report in Thai media says police found a document that says she is the Deputy Head of Protocol for Germany. She arrived from Singapore and stayed at the Dusit Thani Hotel Laguna Resort for the first 14 days. She then checked into the Mooring Resort Hotel. Police suspect she was raped and murdered, but other reports say there are no visible wounds and the body was just starting to decompose. Her body was found in the rocks below the Ao Yon waterfall on Cape Banwa on the near east coast of Phuket. She was only wearing a t-shirt and jacket and otherwise naked from the waist down. A black sheet covered her body when the body was discovered by a 31-year-old local male at 1 p.m. yesterday. There will be a press conference this evening to announce the preliminary results from the autopsy. Both the Thai Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister have called the Swiss ambassador to Thailand to express their sympathies. A survey by the Bank of Thailand indicates that nearly half of Thai businesses expect life to return to normal during the first quarter of 2022. Businesses of all sizes were interviewed between July the 1st and 22nd as part of the Business Sentiment Index. The findings show that 45% expect people to become more confident spending time outside the home during the first quarter of next year. 22% believe things will get back to normal when daily new cases drop to around 51 to 100. For 16%, this will happen when cases are between 101 to 500, while 15% anticipate life can return to normal with daily new infections at 501 to 1,000. However, of the businesses surveyed, just over 22% say they only have enough cash flow to survive the next 3 to 6 months. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has called on the private sector to import 20 to 25 million alternative COVID vaccines expected to arrive later this year. With the Delta variant now the dominant strain in the kingdom and daily new infections topping 20,000, the government is paving the way for the private sector to import vaccines without the involvement of the government's agencies. The Prime Minister has created a working group and assigned a number of private companies to import the Sputnik V and the Johnson & Johnson vaccines to provide a much-needed boost to vaccination efforts across Thailand. Despite constant efforts and promises, Thailand's vaccine rollout has suffered many setbacks, including problems with registration apps and vaccine supply. Bureaucracy. So far, less than 6% of the population has been fully vaccinated through the government's rollout plan. The number of COVID-19 infections and deaths continues to rise over the past 24 hours. Today, 21,379 new COVID-19 cases and 101 coronavirus-related deaths were reported by the CCSA. There are now 212,926 active COVID-19 cases in Thailand, but 22,172 patients have recovered and returned home over the past 24 hours. The rate of COVID infections remain high in Chonburi province, which includes Pattaya, with another 1,325 new cases and one new death reported this morning. The Thai government is being urged to push ahead with a ban on importing plastic waste, instead promoting the recycling of domestic plastic waste. Over 100 environmental groups say this is essential to protect the environment as well as creating a circular economy. 107 groups have released a joint statement calling for a ban on importing plastic waste to be introduced this year. In addition, they want laws tightened to remove loopholes that allow the plastic recycling industry to use imported waste. A proposed ban on importing plastic waste, set to be introduced in September of last year, was postponed for a further 5 years. Penchom Saetang from Ecological Alert and Recovery Thailand says plastic waste continues to arrive in the country despite reassurance from the Industrial Works Department that no new licenses have been approved to import it. She points to recycling factories in the duty-free zones, claiming they are taking advantage of a legal loophole that allows them to continue importing plastic waste. A reckless birthday beach party in Songkhla, southern Thailand, in violation of several COVID-19 restrictions, has resulted in 61 arrests, half of which are underage locals. Songkhla is a dark red zone where any gathering with alcohol is prohibited, and non-alcoholic gatherings are limited to a maximum of 5 people. Last night on Wang Nao Beach, 61 people completely disregarded the rules and met on the beach, apparently to celebrate a birthday. The group was made up of mostly teenagers and young adults who were seen drinking alcohol, partying, and mingling on the beach. Many were reported to be socializing without any masks or social distancing for COVID-19 safety when the police arrived. Music was blaring from parked cars nearby as people partied and drank openly on the beach. The governor of Songkhla confirmed the beach party events and said that the merrymakers were not only violating the national emergency decree for COVID-19, but were also breaking local orders and may face prosecution on both counts. And that concludes our reports for this program, but be sure to subscribe to the channel and keep that notification bell on to stay up to date with the latest and most important stories in Thailand. Meanwhile, you are up to date on the Thaiger. Sawasdee krap.
It's time to join the conversation. Thaiger Talk is our forum where you can share your thoughts and comments about all the news stories, as well as just about anything happening in Thailand. Just scroll down under any Thaiger story, click on Thaiger Talk, register, and you're in. It's time to join Thailand's fastest growing forum. So jump in and be part of the Thaiger Talk conversation.